The dawn after my 30th birthday felt less like a new day and more like the quiet, eerie aftermath of a devastating storm. The remnants of the party, a forgotten champagne flute, a wilting rose, were stark reminders of the life that had been publicly, brutally detonated. Sleep had been a stranger, replaced by a frantic replay of Olivia's triumphant smirk, Ethan's pathetic excuses, and that one damning word, azoospermia. My first coherent thought wasn't about breakfast or work or even the crushing weight of betrayal. It was a name, Maya. Maya, with her razor-sharp legal mind and a loyalty fiercer than any guard dog. Before the sun had fully breached the Chicago skyline, I was on the phone, my voice raspy but firm. "Maya, it's Sarah. I need you, now." There was no hesitation in her reply, just a calm, "My office, 1 hour. Coffee or something stronger?" Maya's downtown office, usually a hub of calm professionalism, felt like a war room as I spilled the sordid contents of my birthday celebration. I laid out every detail, every nuance, every chilling realization, from the baby rattle to the shared glances, and finally, the ace up my sleeve, Ethan's infertility diagnosis. Watching Maya's expressions shift from concerned friend to incensed advocate was a strange sort of validation. I wasn't crazy. This was as monstrous as I perceived it. "Azoospermia," Maya repeated, her voice low and dangerous after I finished, tapping a pen against a legal pad. "And he knew? For how long?" "I found the report from nearly 18 months ago," I confessed, the shame of my own prolonged ignorance still burning. "Hidden. Deep." "So, for at least a year and a half," Maya mused, her eyes narrowing. "He's been letting you go through hell, blaming your body, your stress, while he knew he was the one who couldn't perform, so to speak." The clinical detachment in her voice was exactly what I needed, a scalpel to cut through my emotional fog. "And Olivia," Maya continued, "his sister-in-law, your baby sister, waltzes in, pregnant, and they both point the finger at him as the father." She let out a short, incredulous laugh. The audacity is almost admirable if it weren't so repulsive. "They expected me to crumble, Maya," I said, the memory of their expectant faces making my stomach churn. "To accept it, maybe even blame myself further." "And you didn't," Maya stated, not a question, but a fact, a small, proud smile touching her lips. "You played the part, but you didn't break." "The medical report I have," I pressed. "Is it enough?" Maya leaned back, considering. "It's a powerful piece of evidence, Sarah, a very big gun. It proves Ethan is infertile now, or at least was 18 months ago. It shreds their current narrative about this pregnancy." But then she added the crucial caveat, the one that set the course for everything that followed. "But to truly dismantle them, to understand the full scope of this deception, and to protect yourself legally and financially, we need more." "More?" I whispered, a new wave of exhaustion washing over me. What more could there be? "Oh, there's always more when people are this deceitful," Maya said, her smile turning predatory. "Who is the real father of Olivia's baby? How long has this affair, or whatever it is, been going on between your husband and your sister? And what else has Ethan been hiding if he's capable of a lie this monumental?" These questions, heavy and ominous, hung in the air, a new set of mysteries demanding to be unraveled. The game wasn't just about exposing one lie anymore, it was about excavating an entire foundation of deceit. Leaving Maya's office felt like stepping out of a pressure cooker and into a carefully refrigerated room. The chaotic emotions were still present, but they were now contained, directed, and chillingly purposeful. Maya's parting words echoed. "In my mind, play the grieving wife, Sarah. Let them underestimate you. That's our biggest advantage." It was a role I despised, yet one I knew I had to perfect. The first step was a painful but necessary one, a forensic examination of my own life with Ethan. Maya had advised me to look for patterns, for discrepancies, especially in finances and his schedule over the past 2 years. Men like Ethan, when they're hiding something this big, Maya had said, they almost always get sloppy somewhere. It was a bitter pill to swallow, the idea that my marriage, my life, was now a potential crime scene to be picked apart for clues. That evening, back in the brownstone that now felt less like a home and more like a gilded cage I was temporarily occupying, I began. While Ethan was out, a sudden vague work emergency he'd mumbled about, his eyes avoiding mine, I started with his home office. The place I'd lovingly designed for him now felt alien, hostile. My heart hammered against my ribs, not with fear of being caught, but with a strange, cold excitement, the thrill of the hunt. I remembered how I'd stumbled upon that first azoospermia report nearly a year and a half ago. It hadn't been easy. It was buried deep within a password-protected folder, misleadingly labeled Old Tax Returns, on his personal laptop. A folder I'd only accessed out of a desperate hunch after months of his evasiveness about joint fertility consultations he claimed to be attending alone to spare me the stress. He'd always been so condescendingly protective. This time, I was looking for something different, something to corroborate Olivia's pregnancy timeline and to unearth the real father. His browser history was a sanitized wasteland. He was clearly smart enough to cover basic digital tracks. But his credit card statements, meticulously filed by our accountant, told a different story. There were a surprising number of charges at upscale restaurants I'd never been to, florists I didn't recognize, even a recurring charge for a boutique hotel downtown listed under client entertainment. The dates of these entertainments often coincided with Olivia's spontaneous visits or Ethan's late nights at the office. A sickening pattern began to emerge, far more extensive than I had initially allowed myself to imagine. It wasn't just a mistake with Olivia, it was a lifestyle. Then I found the burner phone, tucked away at the very back of his sock drawer, beneath a pile of rarely worn athletic socks. It was an older model, cheap, disposable, the kind of people use when they have something serious to hide. My hands trembled as I powered it on, praying it wasn't password protected. It wasn't. The call log was sparse, mostly deleted, but the text messages. Oh, the text messages. There were dozens, not from Olivia, but from a name I didn't recognize, Liam S. The messages were a nauseating mix of flirtatious banter, clandestine meeting arrangements, and inside jokes that made my skin crawl. One message from Liam S. read, "Can't wait for our little project to be official. You sure E won't suspect a thing?" My blood ran cold. E had to be Ethan. And project, could that be the baby? This wasn't just an affair Olivia was having behind Ethan's back. This was potentially a conspiracy, and Ethan might be a willing or unwilling participant in a much larger deception than just his infertility. The layers of deceit were suffocating. The burner phone felt like a venomous spider in my hand. Its text messages, a web of deceit spun by Olivia, and this mysterious Liam S. Maya and I spent the next few days in a whirlwind of discreet, caffeine-fueled investigation. The name Liam S. wasn't common, but it wasn't unique either. Our initial online searches yielded a confusing array of possibilities, from college students to retired accountants. "We need to narrow this down," Maya stated, her brow furrowed as she scrolled through endless social media profiles. "Think, Sarah. Any clues from Olivia's past? Any Liams she ever mentioned, even casually?" My mind raced, sifting through years of fragmented memories of Olivia's ever-changing roster of boyfriends and fleeting interests. Then, a faint bell chimed. "There was a Liam," I said slowly. "Liam Slater, her college boyfriend. The one she dated for about a year, the one my mother actually liked because he came from a good family." It seemed too obvious, too neat, but sometimes the truth hid in plain sight. Maya's fingers flew across her keyboard. A few clicks later, Liam Slater's professional networking profile appeared. An architect, working for a rival firm to Ethan's. My stomach twisted. An architect? The coincidence was unsettling. Okay, so we have a potential Liam, Maya said, printing his profile picture. Now, how do we connect him to Olivia now, and to this project? Direct confrontation was too risky. Olivia was slippery, and Ethan was already on edge, probably watching my every move. We needed something concrete, something that tied Liam Slater to Olivia's current life, and, ideally, to the pregnancy. The burner phone messages mentioned clandestine meetings, usually on weekday afternoons. A plan began to form, audacious, and a little terrifying, but necessary. For the next week, I played the role of the grieving, slightly detached wife to perfection. I went to work, I ate, barely. I even allowed Ethan a few stilted, awkward conversations where he feigned concern for my well-being. All the while, Maya and I, using a discreet private investigator Maya knew through her legal contacts, a middle-aged woman named Carol, who looked more like a friendly aunt than a PI, began a quiet surveillance of Olivia. It felt like a betrayal of a different kind, spying on my own sister. But what choice did they leave me? The first few days were fruitless. Olivia's routine seemed normal: yoga classes, shopping trips, lunches with friends I didn't recognize. Carol's reports were dry, factual, offering no hint of a secret lover or a clandestine project. Doubt began to creep in. Was I chasing ghosts? Was the burner phone a red herring? Ethan seemed almost normal too, his earlier nervousness replaced by a cautious, almost sympathetic demeanor. Had I imagined the whole conspiracy? Then, on a rainy Wednesday afternoon, Carol hit pay dirt. Olivia, after leaving her ridiculously expensive spin class, didn't go home. Instead, she drove to a quiet, tree-lined street in a historic district, parked, and entered a charming, renovated Victorian house. A house that, according to the property records Carol quickly pulled, was owned by one Mr. Liam Slater. My breath hitched. It was him. Carol's subsequent photos, taken from a discreet distance, were grainy but undeniable. Olivia and Liam Slater laughing on the porch, his arm around her waist, her hand resting on her slightly swelling belly. One photo even caught them sharing a lingering kiss before Olivia got back into her car. The project was real. The affair was real. And Ethan was either the world's biggest fool or a willing accomplice in this elaborate charade. But Maya, ever the pragmatist, pushed for more. This confirms the affair, Sarah, and strongly suggests he's the father. But it doesn't definitively link Ethan to knowing about Liam or to any deeper conspiracy regarding the baby. She was right. We had a piece of the puzzle, a very large, damning piece, but not the whole picture. What about Ethan's finances? Maya prompted. You mentioned those strange hotel bills. If he's involved in something with Olivia and Liam, or if he's being blackmailed, or if he's simply funding Olivia's project behind your back, the money trail won't lie. The thought of Ethan being blackmailed by my own sister and her lover was a new, horrifying twist I hadn't considered. The deeper we dug, the murkier and more monstrous this whole thing became. We needed access to more than just credit card statements. We needed to see the flow of money, the hidden accounts, the secrets a man like Ethan would bury deep. The next target was clear. Ethan's personal financial records, his private computer, the digital vault where his real secrets lay. The digital vault. That was the key. But breaking into Ethan's meticulously protected financial world felt like planning a bank heist. One wrong move, and our entire investigation could blow up in our faces, leaving me with nothing but more heartbreak. Maya had a plan, a risky one, involving precise timing and a level of nerve I wasn't sure I possessed. But the thought of Olivia and Ethan, smug and secure in their web of lies, fueled a fire in me that burned hotter than any fear. Part 3 will take you deep into the high-stakes game of digital espionage, where a single password could unlock a Pandora's box of deceit, and where Sarah might just find the ultimate weapon to bring them all down. Or lose everything in the process. What do you think Sarah and Maya will find in Ethan's secret financial records? And what's the riskiest thing you'd do to uncover the truth? Let me know your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. If you're on the edge of your seat waiting to see Sarah crack Ethan's defenses, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you're the first to know when part 3 drops. You won't want to miss the secrets that are about to be unleashed.